Today, more fallout in the FIFA corruption scandal that has left the image of the beautiful game in tatters. Former FIFA Vice President Jack Warner, one of the 14 officials indicted last week, said that despite fearing for his life, he plans to reveal an avalanche of documents exposing corruption, including an effort to manipulate the 2010 election in his home country of Trinidad and Tobago. Warner's explosive comments came after it was revealed that another ex-FIFA official, Chuck Blazer, told investigators that he and others took bribes ahead of the 1998 and 2010 World Cups in France and South Africa, respectively. The fallout also comes amid mounting scrutiny of the awarding of the 2022 World Cup to Qatar. Joining me now is world champion, soccer enthusiast, comedian, and author Judah Friedlander, and contributing writer for Victory Journal, Peter Macia, who has a feature in the latest issue of Victory on the saga of football in Ukraine in the age of corruption. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, Judah and Pete, let's talk about Qatar and Russia to that degree. 2022 World Cup, is there a very likely chance that it will not be in Qatar?
I think it's probably not going to happen.
You do?
I think it's not going to happen. I think pretty much the whole. Stay there. No, it's going to go somewhere else. And I think most of the world doesn't want it there. And logistically, people realize it's not even, despite all the worker deaths that have happened there and everything, it's not even a good place to hold the tournament.
World Cup.
You know, it's not even a good place to hold it.
Okay, but this is my question, Pete. If Qatar is getting taken down, presumably there are documents showing corruption with Russia's bid. Is there any chance that Russia has to rethink the fact that it's hosting the World Cup?
I think the chances are pretty slim that they're going to take it away from Russia, just because the infrastructure exists.
And
politically,
Putin isn't
it's super dangerous to try and take it away from Putin at this point.
Putin has said about America's pursuit of this corruption, even if someone has done something wrong, Russia has nothing to do with it. You just got back from Ukraine.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like what he says about the Ukraine, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's got his proxies, operating for him supposedly, and that way he doesn't have to shoulder any of the personal responsibility. With soccer, what's really interesting with this particular investigation is that for the first time, soccer is playing a major role in this sort of reinvigorated Cold War between Obama
Which is like
and Putin.
Not good news for soccer fans. I mean, I guess
it's great news for soccer.
You mean because it's like we're renewed interest?
It's raising the profile
Yeah.
of
And
soccer in America.
it is the World Games. It is the biggest game in the world, and the Olympics, the World Cup. It basically is, war. The game, soccer, it is war.
Only
and
nobody's supposed to die.
And exactly, but I think Russia will keep it. I don't think. Russia's troops, they went into Ukraine. Europe did nothing about it. We really did nothing about it.
We kind of sat on our hands.
Yeah, so I don't think with a soccer game, all of a sudden we're going to, get huge.
Okay, so the English today offered to host the 2022 Cup. They said that, if necessary, they could do it. Pete,
gracious.
I know, right? We'll take that burden. It's like a beauty contestant, and the runner-up is like, I'll take the crown. If you need me to, I'll wear the sash and take the crown. Like, do you think that's a legitimate possibility, though? Because England does have the infrastructure, right?
They do, and most of the worker deaths that we're talking about are from infrastructure projects, not stadium projects, because the stadiums aren't really in any stage of completion or anything like that. So England has all those things, of course, because it's
the home of great soccer.
And they haven't hosted it, I don't think, since 1966.
60-something.
When they won. So they're thirsty. They're super thirsty.
Who's not thirsty? Okay, this is a question I have to ask both of you guys. Is there a chance that the corruption extends to the field itself? I mean, if you hear about the amount of money, the fact that they might be throwing political elections, are we going to have to revisit games?
This Saturday is a great example of how, surprisingly, that kind of on-field corruption can reach to the highest level. You have Juventus playing in the Champions League
Let's not speak
final.
ill of Juventus.
This Saturday, I know you're a big fan of Juventus, but not too long ago, they were relegated to a lower league because they cheated. There was match fixing in the Italian league, and they were involved.
Let's not talk ill of the Italians again. I'll just say that.
Well, part of my website that I have, which is savethebeautifulgame.org, is about changing the referee system and putting pressure on FIFA. I'm not even calling them FIFA anymore. I'm just saying the F word. I'm just going to call it the F word.
But do you think that's likely, that we're going to sort of revisit the sort of ref?
I think that
system?
stuff is probably constantly always going on in some levels. It's very, if there's one referee who's basically, there's a few on the field, but it's really only one that's in charge.
Right.
And there's only 2 goalkeepers. It's very easy to fix something. Very easy.
And it happens in small leagues around the world all the time. It just doesn't make the news.
The news headlines. Yeah. I didn't wear my beard today. Obviously, I should have.
Someone should
but
have
I think someone should have given me that beard memo.
Should we do
my bearded friends?
Can we do a split screen with Chuck Blazer and
we'll do that on a forthcoming segment. Cool. Judah Friedlander and Peter Macia, my bearded friends. Thank you for talking soccer with me.
Thank you.
We will have more after the break.